back to episode 4 of the horror movie review series. This is Double AA Halloween. Here today to review Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Which again, we reviewed Five Nights at Freddy's last week, which was also based on a video game franchise. This movie is based on the second game, so we're going to be reviewing that. It includes, in the cast, it includes Scott Cawthon as the writer, Emma Tammy as the director, produced by Blumhouse Productions, and distributed by Universal Pictures. It includes returning cast members such as Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Lail, Piper Rubio, and Matthew Lillard, along with new cast members like McKenna Grace, Skeet Ulrich, and some other people I can't think of. I think Freddy Carter's in there as well. And also some people who have voiced some of the animatronics. So we have Kellen Goff, who's a voice actor from the games, Megan Fox, and Matthew Patrick, also known as Matt Pat. So that's the cast for this movie. I just saw it in theaters recently on December 6th. And I know I sound a bit sick right now, so apologies. Hopefully it gets better soon. But before we get into this review, please be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think. Please subscribe if you have not yet done so. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed. A 100 subscriber special will be coming out before the end of this year, if not in January. If you want to get notified of new content right when it comes out, please ring the little notification bell at the bottom of your screen. My Instagram is down in the description, same with my TikTok page, and my business/contact email is down there as well. Anyways, let's get into my review on Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So let's get into originality/uniqueness. First of all, I want to apologize for not giving credit to Jim Henson's Creature Shop before, because they're the ones who are returning again to make the animatronics. But for originality/uniqueness, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is based off of the second Five Nights at Freddy's game, and it includes new animatronics like the toys, Mangle, Balloon Boy, the puppet, the Wizards. It includes all of those in this movie. But it also includes Circus Baby. Sorry for the spoiler, but she's in there. And if you don't know who Circus Baby is, she is an enemy from one of the future games from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. So she appears for a brief moment in the movie. And also Shadow Bonnie, who is an Easter egg in this movie. The 4 animatronics from the first movie appear in this movie as well near the end. And Spring Bonnie appears again, along with a post-credit scene where they feature Springtrap. But going off of the logic of the games, this is based off the game where there is a new Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. There are old broken animatronics stuck in the back room of this location, while the new animatronics, the toys, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica, are performing on the stage. But then you also got the Mangled, which was supposed to be Foxy, but kids took it apart and they made it a take apart and put back together attraction. In the original game as well, you've got an enemy known as Balloon Boy, who in the second game and any appearance he's in, once he gets into your office in the game, he takes your flashlight away, or he disables the player's controls for a little bit, or just for the rest of the night until the player gets killed off. And then you've also got the Marionette, otherwise known as the Puppet. In the games, the Marionette serves as a recurring antagonist, serving as a big one in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. In her debut, there is a music box in one of the cameras that you have to wind up, and if that music box winds down all the way, she will come out to end your run. Now also in this game from the game you have the pizzeria, which has been upgraded. So instead of the animatronics in that location, all of them being possessed, there's only one, and that's the Marionette, who is possessed by a girl named Charlotte, who gets killed off by William Afton, and her soul goes on to possess the Marionette. In the games, she serves as like someone who takes care of the dead kids and gives them life inside the suits. In the movie, she's more like a vengeful spirit. In the movie, of course, it adapts from the games, having the music box to calm her down. But also a feature taken from the game that's put into the movie is the Freddy Fazbear mask that you have to put on your head when an animatronic comes into your office. And when you put on that mask, it makes you think that you're one of them, so they don't bother you. It only works on a few, but it does not work on Foxy. And in the game, Foxy can see through the mask, and you have to shine the flashlight at him to get him to go away. But they don't exactly show that mechanic in the movie. And there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs. There's a few flashback scenes as well. And this doesn't really have a storyline, and it's just fan service. But some ideas from the games are retconned to put into the Five Nights at Freddy's cinematic universe. Of course, the animatronics such as Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangle, Balloon Boy, the Puppet, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Withered Foxy, they all look accurate to their representations in their appearances in the games. More accurate than the animatronics from the first movie did, so that's always nice to see. Of course, Jim Henson's Creature Shop did an even better job on these guys than they did in the first movie with the animatronics they made then. But you've got, like I said, you've got a voice actor from the games, Kellen Goff, who has voiced several characters in the games, such as the 5th game's Funtime Freddy and the 9th game's Glamrock Freddy. In this movie, he voices Toy Freddy. And then you've got the game theorist himself, Matthew Patrick, most commonly known as MatPat. He was in the first movie as a cameo, but in this movie, he voices an actual animatronic. He is the voice of Toy Bonnie. And then you've got another big name actor, like we've seen before. You've got Megan Fox voicing Toy Chica. And then that's about it. So originality, it is based off of a game, and I would give it a 5 out of 10. Because they did come up with some ideas on their own, including animatronics that weren't from the second game, and including new storyline to it, along with including new scenes where some of the animatronics step outside the pizzeria and go on a rampage around town. So, anyways, yeah, let's get into the plot. Now, the plot of the movie is as follows. This takes place a year after the events of the first movie. So during the course of this movie, you have Mike, who is living in a new house now with his sister, Abby. Mike is played by Josh Hutcherson, Abby is played by Piper Rubio, but it also focuses on Elizabeth Lale's character, Vanessa, who is actually William Afton's daughter. William Afton is played by Matthew Lillard. She has trauma and flashbacks from when she was a kid, and throughout the movie, she had to confront that pain and all the dreams she was having of how much of a cruel and sadistic father William Afton was to her. Now, this movie also revolves around another character, the Puppet, who plays a huge role, as she is the only one that is possessed by a soul, by a human soul, and is the one controlling all of the animatronics in the new Freddy Fazbear's location. The Puppet, or should I say Charlie, uses Toy Chica to trick Abby into going to this location, typing in a code to get rid of the security protocols for the animatronics, so the animatronics can go out and walk free. In the opening of the movie, you see Charlotte Emily, I think that's her name, I don't know who she's played by. She gets killed at the beginning of the movie, and for some reason, instead of having something against William Afton, she has a vendetta against the neglectful parents that wouldn't listen to her. So her goal in the movie is to kill all the parents and pay them back for what they did. And it's up to Mike, Abby, and Vanessa to stop to stop the puppet and make sure that peace is restored in the town and the animatronics are not causing mayhem. So, it also includes a character from the games named Michael Afton, who is played by Freddy Carter. He is revealed to be a bad guy near part of the movie, and near the end of the movie, he is revealed to be Vanessa's brother. And at the end of the movie, the original animatronics from the first movie attack the toy animatronics and dismantle them. And then the souls leave those animatronic bodies of the OG animatronics and they move on into the afterlife. And they kind of tease a third movie because they're saying William Afton will come back and he will be stronger than before. And that adds up to the post-credit scene where we see Springtrap. In the third game, which I think the third movie is going to be based off of, you're in a horror attraction, like a haunted attraction. You're the security guard for that. And there's only one real threat you have to face, which is Springtrap. He's the only real animatronic in that location, and the rest are just ghosts. They're hallucinations. And I think the plot of the movie is pretty good. There's a lot of engaging scenes. It's better than the first movie, but still not a lot of story involved, because this is basically fan service. So I will probably give the plot a 3.5 out of 10. Now let's get into what I think is the best scene in this entire movie. What my favorite scene is. My favorite scene in the whole movie is the opening scene, because you get to see an authentic Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria where kids are visiting and their parents are there as well. There's people there. It's actively in business. And you can actually see William Afton in the Golden Bonnie outfit luring kids into the back room. At least he lured one kid into a back room, knocked him out unconscious, but a girl named Charlotte, who goes on to possess the puppet, but we're not there yet, she goes in, she tries to alert the parents, but the parents don't listen to her. They don't care, and they just keep on doing what they're doing. So she has to go back there herself and rescue the kid. And then when she grabs the kid and starts leaving towards exit, William Afton notices, and you can see him in his yellow rabbit costume holding up the kitchen knife, chasing after her. And eventually it is revealed that she got stabbed. The boy woke up and he was okay, but she died. And she fell down the trap door, and the puppet came up, holding her in its arms. So I think that is a really good scene for a lot of reasons, and I would give this scene a 10 out of 10. Now, for worst scene of the movie, along with other criticisms I have to give, there wasn't really a scene that I would call the worst scene in the movie. I do have a few criticisms for this film. Again, not enough storyline. This is fan service, but we're not getting enough depth to the characters here, and we're not getting a full in-depth story. And this is based off of the video game franchise, and this is service to the fans, which I don't mind, but I would at least prefer a little bit of extra story. Now, another criticism that I would like to give is the fact that they had so many animatronics in the movie that a lot of them were underutilized. A few I would like to mention are Balloon Boy, Withered Bonnie, and I can't think of the other one, but I know Balloon Boy and Withered Bonnie especially. You only see Balloon Boy for a few scenes, and then he gets decapitated, and his head is thrown into the hallway. I think the most underutilized animatronic in this entire movie is Withered Bonnie. I mean, yeah, you see him in the back room waking up with all the other withered animatronics, but the only time you see him active after that is him crawling through a vent, and when the vent door opens, Mike just closes it and we don't see him again. So yeah, having a massive amount of animatronics in this movie is great, but some of them are very underutilized. Another criticism I would like to give out is the puppet being a vengeful spirit. Now, that doesn't add up to me, because I've played the games before, and I would think it would have been better to have the puppet be a caregiver and life giver for the rest of the dead kids inside the animatronic suits. But that wouldn't make sense in the context of this movie. And the final criticism, no R-rated cut. Just a PG-13 cut. There's only a PG-13 version. It would have been much better if they also had an R-rated cut. I cannot stress this enough. These films need R-rated cuts along with the PG-13 version that will be shown for everyone to see. Because as much as I am a massive fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, there are a lot of brutal scenes in these games that we play. I mean, we've got someone getting crushed inside of an animatronic suit, which we saw in the first movie. You see someone getting their frontal lobe bit off in the games. You have these nightmarish animatronic designs in the fourth game. You also have someone getting scooped up and grinded up inside of an animatronic as well. And how the animatronics are possessed, minus the ones that aren't possessed by kids, you have a guy luring children to the back room, and I assume he would stab them to death, and then to get rid of the evidence, put the bodies in the animatronics. And yeah, they need an R-rated cut. If they're including animatronics like the Wizards, which are in this movie, they did a good job with those except for Withered Bonnie. But when they include the nightmare animatronics, if they ever do make a fourth film, I mean, Matthew Lillard, the guy who plays William Afton, only signed a 3-picture deal. So this movie's most likely gonna just be a trilogy. I would love to see more brutal action in the third movie, even though they have plenty of it here. And the third movie should also get an R-rated cut. I cannot stress this enough. You need an R-rated cut. So yeah, those are the criticisms I would have to give out. Let's get into the scare factor. Scare factor, it's not like the games, where the second game would actually be scary, just like the first game is scary. But like the first movie, this isn't really that scary. Yeah, there are some intense scenes like Mangle being on top of a car, and along with the puppet possessing human beings and their faces and limbs looking freakishly horrifying. I feel like they should have taken some elements from the games, because I feel like you're not getting a lot of first-person perspectives. So, in my opinion, it wasn't that scary, probably because it was PG-13, along with the fact that the difference between the movie and the game, the movie you already know what's going to happen. You're watching other people encounter these animatronics. In the games, you're the one in the driver's seat. You're the one controlling things, and something unpredictable can happen to you. And that's what's scary about the games instead of the movies. But yeah, there are a lot of funny moments, and there are a lot of mildly scary moments. Yeah, there were some violent scenes, especially with Toy Chica. She was pretty brutal. She crushed a guy's head, which wasn't explicitly shown, and I can't remember what else she did. But the scare factor, I would have to give a 4.5 out of 10. Overall, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is significantly better than the first movie. We've got more new animatronics, a bigger location, much more action, much more scary scenes, and that amazing post-credit scene leading up to the third film. The rating I would have to give this film is a 6 out of 10. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Double AA Halloween signing out. Stay tuned and stay scary.